Hi there, it's Sebastian here, and welcome to Module 2 and 2.1 specifically. Now, yesterday in day 1, we did all the hard work. We dug into your background to find out what you're actually good at, okay? And today we are going to put that on paper, all right? But we are not going to do it the normal way, okay? So most people they write a CV, like a history book, right? Like in 2005 I did this. In 2015 I did that. And the problem with a history book is that a recruiter has to read the whole thing, you know, to understand if you can do the job today. All right? Understand the distinction. And the harsh reality is, and I'm speaking also from my own experience, so with the Finnish job market, the recruiters they spend about 7 to 10 seconds scanning a CV before they decide whether they're gonna hire or not. So whether it's a yes or no. And I have my experience of this. When you have a lot of applications on your table and you have a busy schedule, then you have to kind of get good at recognizing who is the right person to hire, right? So, and let's say that let's take a scenario where you know if you let's say if you have gaps in your employment. So if you are, or if you're changing careers, or if your best skills were learned a long time ago, like in a job 10 years ago, then we can all probably understand that a traditional CV, it's actually going to work against you, right? And this right here on my screen, this template right here, I just pulled that. This is just a template, the first template, you know, that I pulled up. So mm, this is probably the most known version how to do your CV, right? This is a very basic one, but we don't want this for you. Okay. So today we are building a competence based CV for you. Okay. So that format, this format, let me dig up an example for you. So, uh, yeah, let's just pull up Maria's example from here. Okay. So this this format screams, here is what I can do, instead of where here is where I have been. Okay. So let me explain this with an analogy. All right, that will change your perception, because this one was based on, well, yeah, okay, we'll come on back to this. So uh imagine, so yeah, this will really, okay. I'm sorry, I have to think. So let's change your perspective on job hunting forever. All right, so imagine a recruiter is a hungry shopper, okay? So they have a shopping list. They need specific ingredients. So they want, you're in, let's say, K Supermarket or K City Market or Prisma or Mini Money, or I don't know, Alepa, Sale, whatever you prefer. I don't know, just pick one, okay? From all these supermarkets, S Market or whatever, okay? But anyways, so they need, you are there with them, and they need specific ingredients, which are leadership, IT skills, and customer service. Okay, just for the case of this example. So now a traditional CV is like making that recruiter walk down every single aisle within Prisma, okay, or within Mini Money, or within K City Market. You're making them, it's like making them walk the supermarket to find what they need. They have to walk to your, let's say they're looking for a specific skill, then they have to walk to your job from 2015 to find leadership, okay? Then they have to walk all the way to your job from 2018. So they're scrolling down this list, how many ever you have. And then they have to walk all the way to your job from 2018 to find customer service, right? So it takes time, it's exhausting, and if they don't find the ingredient in 7 seconds, they will leave the store. Okay? So you have to understand this. Excuse me. So a competence based CV is like is like handing them a pre-packed shopping basket. You say you want leadership, here it is, right at the top. You want customer service, here it is, right at the top, and right next to it, or whatever, right? So the recruiter doesn't care which aisle or which job you got the leadership skills from. They just want to know whether it's in the basket or not. Okay, and this format, this Maria's format, what we're doing here, it's actually called the 99% converter because it will do the heavy lifting for you. And we will dig into this. So just keep on watching this lesson and we'll get into the deeper mechanics, what's actually happening here. All right. But anyway, the recruiter doesn't care which aisle or which job you got the leadership skill from, right? They just want to know it's in the basket. And this format works because it highlights your transferable skills. Okay, it highlights them instantly, and it puts your best self at the very top of the page. Okay, all right. So to help you build this basket, I have created a template for you, and like I just said, it's called the 99% converter, and you will be able to download it from the resources. Okay, and from the assignments. All right. So now if we dig into deeper mechanics, what's actually happening here, then it will completely flip the script for you. Okay. So if we go, let's talk about my profile. Probably you already read what's being said here, but anyways, let me give you some more meat around it. So at the top, we have the professional profile, and this is your elevator pitch. All right. Okay. The template, or like this, let me, you know what? Yeah, I'll just actually pull up the template right away. I hope it won't mess with your head too much, but you'll get actually both of these. So you'll get Maria's CV. We can get to use that, and then this template. So you'll find them in the resources. Okay. So it says here under my profile, this is your elevator pitch. The template says like, do not write what you want here, but what you offer, right? It focuses on your track record and problems you can solve. Okay, this part right here, and now you see what we did here, right? Probably this opened up your eyes, what we did with Maria here. So I will give you some more meat around this. Just let's just keep on moving forward. So all right, next is the so this whole profile is good, where it's your profile and your skills, and then the next is the actual meat of the document. So core competencies, what I can do. All right. So I would say that, like, choose maybe 3 to 4 themes. Okay, so 3 to 4 themes that directly match the job advertisement. So that is, I would say that I would always recommend when you're writing your competence-based CV. Okay. Now, instead of job listing, like listing job titles as in this, where is it? Right here, as you know, in this very conventional way of doing it, we want to list themes instead. Okay, as it is here with the Maria. So, for example, it could be project management. For Maria, there is cleaning and hygiene, and it could be customer service. Under these themes, you list your achievements, regardless of where you did them. Okay. All right. And then finally, at the bottom, we have employment history. So if we can go here to the template, and we have employment history right here. The template calls this the evidence. So it's short, no bullet points. And why? Because you already sold your skill at the top. So this section just proves you have it. This section, just like this section right here, just proves you have history. Okay. And this format, it naturally hides the gaps, because if you have gaps between your employment history, because the recruiters, in recruiters' eyes, they are more drawn to the skills here at the top in your profile. Okay. And if we dig into Maria's competence-based CV, now we can actually probably, well, you already picked that up. I know that because I'll be now flashing this on my screen for a while, but we see this in action with this example right here. Okay, so Maria, she's in her 50s and she moved to Finland quite recently, and for the last 15 years she hasn't had a traditional paid job, so she has been running a household and volunteering. Okay, so if she applied for a cleaning job with a normal CV, it might look very very empty, right? Because of her history. Okay, this very traditional, this template, the first template that we get when you open you open this up. Okay, so um, if she applied, yeah, with a normal CV, it it probably would look very empty. But then when we look at her competence CV, you can look at her profile. She writes, I have over 15 years of practical experience in taking care of large homes and event spaces. And look at this brilliant, like if we look at this is very brilliant. I see dirt that others miss. Okay. Now that is very honest, and it immediately tells a manager that she has an eye for detail, right? She also highlights that she's physically strong, which is crucial for a cleaner, because when you're doing a facility maintenance role, well, facility maintenance, it's, I know because my mother is doing that. So it requires, you need to have a physique, or you will benefit from it very much if you have a physique, right? If you're physically strong. And then right under the profile, she lists her top skills. Okay, and notice specifically Finnish language B1.1 intermediate. By putting this at the top, she answers the recruiter's biggest worry immediately. Does she speak Finnish? And here we can see, yes, she does. And if this was at the bottom, they just, if we go to this traditional resume, if it was just at the bottom wherever it is, or, well, yeah, here, okay, languages, then it they would just, by putting it, they would just miss it, right? It like, they just might look at it like, where is it? Of course, yeah, we understand that with these very traditional templates, the everyone will know where to look for the languages for it. But again, we don't want to highlight these. We need to highlight, like, we're not making a traditional CV, we're a competence-based CV, which will highlight your strengths, and that is the whole idea, right? To put your best foot forward, right? Okay, now if we go and we look at her themes, okay, so we look at her themes right here. So she didn't list for, like, here, she didn't list housewife or volunteer. She listed as number one, cleaning and hygiene. Okay, so she translates her home experience into business language, so to say, right? So she understands how to articulate her skills. And that's why, and for this, we have the Sebastian's Ikigai career prompt, right? Which will help you to articulate your skill and translate it into competence based CV, so that we can put your best foot forward. You see how the circle closes now. So she writes high standards. I keep spaces spotless. Okay. And then she mentions safety first. I have my hygiene passport. So this is very brilliant. She's proving she's qualified before she even mentions her work history, right? And then if we look at the theme number 2, so here is organizing and planning, and she mentions supplies. Okay, she says, I notice immediately when stocks are low. This is exactly what a facility manager needs. Someone who notices when the toilet paper is running out, right? Very basic, very common, but the articulation is brilliant. Okay, and look at how she describes her background. So, logistics. I am used to managing busy schedules for a family of 5. She turned parenting into logistics. That is a transferable skills, right? Because if you're managing a family of 5, you need to understand logistics in some level, okay? That is just a fact. And then finally, when we look at her work history, she lists her current role, volunteer event assistant. Okay, and then for the gap from 2005 to 2022, she lists family and household manager. So she describes it as a I ran a busy household for 5 people. All right. So she owns her history. She doesn't hide it. But because she already proved her skills in the section above, right? Right here, she oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, but because she already proved her skills in the section above, this history section just confirms that she has been active and responsible. Okay, right here, right? So what can we learn from this? What can we learn from Maria? You don't need a fancy job title to have valuable skills. You just need to know how to translate them. All right. That is the whole point I'm trying to make here, and that's why I have made this the 99% converter template, which you can use, and you know you just you can just open all the material you got from day one, and then choose 3 themes that match the job you want. And if you want to be a driver, your themes might be safety, navigation, and vehicle maintenance, right? Which you put down here. Okay, so everything's in the template. So then you put as many as you need. You just copy paste and you put as many as you need. All right. And then once you upload this, I will then personally review it, and I will see if your profile, if there's is your profile a hook, and have you grouped your skills into clear themes, and are you hiding your skills in the graveyard at the bottom, or putting them um, like yeah, like this, like I showed you the example before. So somewhere, okay, well, in this resume they're not actually in the bottom, but still they are not, definitely not the main stars in this traditional resume, right? So now here the main star of this resume is obviously the work history, and then I gave you the Prisma and supermarket analogies. So then we have to do the work of digging up what you've been doing, and what is the skill? Is the skill there that we need? So they are not straight in the basket, right? Remember. So I know at times, like, changing your CV format, it might feel scary. It feels like kind of like breaking the rules. But Maria, she didn't, like, if we think this, she didn't get hired because she followed the rules, right? She got hired because she showed her value. Okay, that's why we have this template right here, right? So we want to do the heavy lifting for you so that you can just put your best foot forward. And by the way, if you don't want to use any picture, then you can just do this, right? And you delete, and voila, you are done with it. And then you just go. So the picture is not mandatory, just so that you understand, okay? But I have it in the template for those who want to put their picture in there, okay? So by using this, you will get hired because you will show your value, right? So yeah, all now left to do is for you to get to work, and I look forward to seeing your new shopping baskets.